another lesson from grade 9th English, and we are continuing our chapter that we have taken last time from Women's, that is the last leaf. Okay, so we were doing the chapter The Last Leaf. It is written by the author O. Henry, and we have seen the story. We have started the story and we have seen there were two girls in the story, Sue and Johnsy. Okay, we have seen Sue and Johnsy was there. So one of the girls, Johnsy, is having an illness. She is having pneumonia and she is on the verge of dying. Okay, so Johnsy, she gets her will to survive from an old creeper. Okay, creeper I have already explained. So there is leaves on the creeper, and what is happening as the leaves are falling from the creeper. So Johnsy is thinking that when all the leaves will be gone, all the leaves are shed, what will happen? Johnsy will die. So Sue, her friend, is also a painter like Johnsy. They both are bachelors. They are unmarried. They are young girls. They are artists, and they both have to work hard for their survival. So Sue is making a painting, and she asked Johnsy not to look outside of a window, so that if she will see outside and the creeper's leaf will fall down, so what will happen? She will die. The doctor has said that medicines are working, but there is some will that is required in Johnsy in order to survive. So Sue asked Johnsy that I can't do the curtains because I am drawing a painting. I want the light. So you don't look outside of the window and don't get demotivated. So by far we have done this, and in the today's lecture we are going to conclude the story, The Last Leaf.
Okay, so let's start reading the next half of the chapter. We have already seen that how the condition of Johnsy was and how Sue was trying to improve her friend's condition. She was painting as they were bachelors and they had to earn. So Sue was painting something, and for that she had to open the curtains, open the window, and she was telling Johnsy that I can't draw the curtains and don't look outside, because as you are aware that if Johnsy will look outside to the creeper and if she will see the falling leaves, she will get demotivated and her will to survive will also get shun. So let's start reading after that. All right, said Johnsy. Finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I'm tired of waiting. I have to die. So let me go away peacefully like one of those poor, tired leaves. So Sue asked Johnsy that don't look outside the window. I can't draw the curtains, so please bear with it. Don't look outside to the creeper and don't get demotivated. Don't leave the will to survive, will to live. So Johnsy said, all right, finish your painting soon, and I want to just see the last leaf fall. This was the statement of Johnsy. She said that yes, I want to see the last leaf fall so that I can also die peacefully. Okay, similarly to that of the leaf that is falling, the leaf that was falling. So she was comparing herself with the leaf, that if that poor leaf will fall down, she is saying, she is using the word poor for leaf. In a sense, she is using the word poor for herself also. She is comparing her self with the leaf, and she is calling that leaf poor, weak, okay, so feeble. She is calling herself also that that I am very poor, I am in a bad condition, and I will also die once the leaf will die. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Burman up to be my model. Okay, so Sue said, try to get some sleep, try to get some rest. I have to paint an old miner, an old person. I have to I have to make a portrait of an old miner, and I will call Burman to be my model. She rushed down. Burman lived on the ground floor. Burman was their flatmate. He used to live in the ground floor and they were living in the top floor. So he was a 60-year-old painter. Burman was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece. This thing you can mark, it is a very important thing. What was Burman's dream? Burman's dream was to paint a masterpiece. Okay, in every art, the artists want to create some creation that is inevitable, that is like no one can replace it, no one can make the thing better than you, no one can make a thing similar to your creation. So Burman's idea of that masterpiece was such that I will create some masterpiece which no one will be able to copy. Okay, so Burman was a 60-year-old painter. Like Sue and Chauncey, he was also an artist. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream only. He couldn't paint something that great which which can be taken as a masterpiece. So Sue poured out her worries to Burman. Sue told everything to Burman, that what Chauncey was going with, what was happening with Chauncey. She told him how Chauncey was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. This is the thing. Sue told everything to Burman, that Chauncey has compared herself to a leaf and she's saying that if the leaf will fall down, I will also die. And she's painting now, Sue is painting, and she wants Chauncey to be distracted from that leaf. Okay, let's move ahead. See, is she stupid? Asked Burman. How can she be so foolish? So Burman, being a 60-year-old person, a very mature, a very experienced fellow, he said, is she stupid? Is she a fool? She is saying such things. She is running a high temperature, complained Sue. So Sue, being a very loyal friend, she tried to argue for her friend. She tried to prove a point that yes, she is talking nonsense, but that is because she is having a high temperature. She is not well. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. So Sue said that Chauncey is not eating anything, she is not drinking, she is in a very bad state, and that is worrying me. I will come with you and see Chauncey, Burman said. Burman replied to Sue that I will come with you and I will see Chauncey. They tiptoed into the room. Tiptoed means walking very silently. जब हम दबे पांव चलना कहते हैं हिंदी में, that is being tiptoed. Okay, दबे पांव चलना is called tiptoed. They tiptoed into the room. Chauncey was sleeping. Sue drew the curtains together, and they went to the next room. So Chauncey was sleeping at that time when they both reached her room, Sue and Burman. So Sue drew the curtains together. She pulled the curtains together. She now closed the curtains in a sense, and she, along with Burman, went to the next room. She peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper. So only one leaf was remaining in the creeper. It was raining heavily and an icy cold wind was blowing. So it was raining very heavily and very icy, very chill, very cold wind was blowing. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. So it was quite obvious that the leaf will fall down anytime soon. Burman did not say a word. Burman didn't say a word. He went back to his room. Johnsy woke up next morning in a feeble voice. So Burman did not say a word. He went back to his room. Johnsy woke up next morning in a feeble voice. Feeble means very weak voice. She asked Sue to draw the curtains. Sue was nervous. She drew back the curtains very reluctantly. Very reluctantly means very hesitantly. She was not willing to do it, but she did it as she was afraid that if there would be no leaf on the creeper, her friend would die. Oh, Sue exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. Look, there's still one leaf on the creeper. So, when Sue drew the curtains away, she opened the curtains. What she found that there was one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. In spite of the storm and the fierce winds, it didn't fall. So, what happened when Sue opened the curtain? She saw that there was one leaf left. I heard the wind last night, said Johnsy. I thought it would have fallen. It will surely fall today, then I'll die. See the determination of Johnsy to die. She's saying that there was much of rain and heavy wind were blowing. So I was thinking that the leaf would have fallen and I will also die. So you won't die, said Sue energetically. You have to live for your friends. What would happen to me if you die? So she tried to motivate Johnsy. She tried to give her a sense of life that your friends are there. Your friends are with you. You have to survive for your friends, for your loved ones. I am there for you. Johnsy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. After every hour or so, she would look out of the window and find the leaf still there. So Johnsy smiled and she looked out, and every hour she was looking outside to see that if the leaf had fallen or not. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. It was feeling like it was clinging to the creeper. In the evening there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. So in evening another storm was there like last night, and the leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Then she called out to Sue. I have been a bad girl. You have looked after me so lovingly, and I have not cooperated with you. So, Johnsy realized some things and she shared her feelings with Sue. She said that I have been a very bad girl. I have been a very bad girl, and you have looked after me. And what I have done, I have not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. The last leaf has shown me how wicked I have been. I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. So, Chauncey said that I have been a very bad girl. You have looked after me very much and you have cared for me. You have been there for me. And look what I am doing. I am depressed and I am gloomy. I am not cooperating with you. I am not showing any will to survive. The last leaf has shown me how wicked I have been. I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. So what Chauncey felt looking at the last leaf, that it is staying in all that rain and storm. It is sticking there in the creeper. So why couldn't I? Why I am so demotivated? Why I am so less energetic? Okay, this was the thing that Chauncey shared with Sue. Now see what happened next. Sue hugged Chauncey. Okay, उसने उसको जोर से गले लगाया. Then she gave her lots of hot soup and a mirror. Johnsy combed her hair and smiled brightly. So the friends were again very happy. Johnsy got a mirror, she combed her hair and smiled very brightly. In the afternoon, the doctor came. After examining his patient, he told Sue, Johnsy now has the will to live. I am confident she will recover soon. So, after examining Johnsy, the doctor said that I am now sure that Johnsy has the will to live again. I am confident that she will recover. Now I must go downstairs and see Burman. He is also suffering from pneumonia. You can mark the spelling of pneumonia, and it is very important because pneumonia starts with a word P, letter P, but it doesn't there in the pronunciation. So you have to call it pneumonia. But I am afraid there is no hope for him. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Johnsy's bed. Taking Johnsy's hand in hers, she said, I have something to tell you. So Burman was also very serious. He was in a bad condition, and the doctor said that I don't think that Burman will survive more. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Johnsy's bed, and she took her hand on her hand and she said, I have something to tell you. She said, I have something to tell you. Mr. Burman died of pneumonia this morning. So what had happened? Burman died due to pneumonia. He was ill for only 2 days. The first day, the janitor found him on his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had been out in that stormy night. So see what has happened. The janitor, the sweeper, he found Burman on his bed and he was shivering, he was wet, his clothes were wet, and he was out in the open during the stormy night. They found a ladder and a lantern. What is a lantern? Laltane. A lantern. Okay, so still lighted lying near his bed. There was also some brushes and green and yellow paints on the floor near the ladder. Johnsy dear, said Sue, look out of the window. Look at the ivy leaf. Haven't you wondered why it doesn't flutter when the wind blows? That's Burman's masterpiece. He painted it in the night. The last leaf fell. Written by O. Henry. So see the ending. It is a very painful yet very optimistic ending. See, Burman, being an old person of 60 years, his dream was to make a masterpiece, paint a masterpiece. And Johnsy, who was a young girl, was not having the will to live anymore. She looked outside the window and she got her willingness to survive from the leaf. That when the leaves will be all gone, I will also die. But the last leaf that stood there gave her the power, gave her the will to survive. And that leaf was not an actual leaf. It was a kind of a what can we say? It was an artwork of Burman. It was a replica of a leaf. Replica, you all know. Replica means what can we say? A fake thing. Okay, like we have that trophies, World Cup trophies, that are actual trophies, but in market we get lot of replicas. Suppose we have the what can I say, the cricket bat. Maybe MS Dhoni used a cricket bat in his match, but we get so many bats of MS Dhoni signed by MS Dhoni in market. Those are all replicas. Okay, so same way the leaf was a replica. It was not an actual leaf, but it was a fake leaf created by Burman. Although it is a very little thing, a leaf can never be a masterpiece. A masterpiece, when you think of a masterpiece, maybe the painting of Mona Lisa, that you can consider as a masterpiece. Taj Mahal, a masterpiece which can be created only once. But leaf, it can be created several times. Any painter can paint a leaf, a replica of leaf. But what is important here, that leaf gave the power, the will to survive to the sick Jauncey, okay, the young Jauncey, and it was painted by Burman. It saved life. It saved a life of a young girl. So it is in a sense a masterpiece created by Burman. Burman's dream was to create a masterpiece which he couldn't, but in a sense by saving the life of a girl through his creation, he eventually created a masterpiece. So he was outside whole night. What he was doing? The leaf, suppose a replica is there, through rain it will also somehow get down. The paper, when you put water on it, what happens? It get destroyed. So same way the leaf was also getting destroyed. But Burman was all night out just to see that if the leaf fall down, he will again stick it. In the wind, the leaf was falling down, he again stuck it. So this way he again and again put the leaf there, the replica of the leaf there in the creeper, and it gave the little girl, the Jauncey, the will to survive. So I think it is a very emotional, very important, very beautiful story written by O. Henry. And now it is over. I hope that you will complete all the work and we will meet again in the next video.
Okay, so our chapter is over now and I have explained the story, the last leaf, in 2 videos. I hope that you have watched the first video. And in this video I have concluded the chapter. You have seen how Jauncey's friend tried to give some will to Jauncey. Sue tried to give some sort of motivation to Jauncey with the help of Burman, who was an old painter, and he also suffered from pneumonia because of Jauncey. He tried to help her. He was trying to make one masterpiece. Masterpiece was his dream. So he made that. He made a replica of the leaf. But what happened? He died eventually because he was out in the rain. He was out in the storm, and he couldn't take the effects of the weather. So he got pneumonia and eventually he died. So this was there in the chapter. We see that how Burman made his masterpiece and how Jauncey got the willpower back to survive. So this was your chapter. I am Aman from DPS Advani Ramachowd. You were watching PTO classes. I hope that you will complete all your work and we will meet again soon in the next